Welcome back to another episode of Pure Perspectives. Today we're going to talk about things in the news, and I want you to stick around because at the end we're going to be talking about what you need to avoid from a mortgage fraud perspective. We're going to talk about what's in the news, but a reminder, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. I'm sitting down with Gary Pierce. He's down in Texas. I'm here in California, and today we're talking about Congressman Adam Schiff.
Yeah, let's talk.
Did he commit mortgage fraud? We'll talk about what's going on. Let's start with the allegations. What is the allegation that's being made as far as the press is concerned?
Yeah, so what is happening is there are multiple homes, right, that are listed and financed as primary properties. In and of itself, it can happen and you can do that. However, if you continue down a path, if in the sense that you buy a home as a primary and cross country like he did, and you refinance your previous primary as a primary again, you're continuing down this path of two primary. You can't do that. So that in and of itself, and any lender should have really caught this. Like they shouldn't have been able to get this done. But basically saying I have two primary properties, you just can't do that. Like it's mortgage fraud. And the reason you can't is because it's a cost thing. Like it's cheaper to have a primary home than it is an investment property or second home. So that's what they're digging into. But as you said, we'll get into a little bit deeper some of the things you need to be thinking about with mortgage fraud.
Yeah, and just to remind, these are all claims that are being made. We're talking about what's in the press. But yeah, I mean, basically what happens when you apply for a loan, we run your credit. If there's a mortgage on there, we're going to see it. And it's very clear in the process it asks, is this going to be your primary residence or is this going to be a secondary property?
Yeah.
You have to be honest about that. So
100%.
Basically, this situation is he's a congressman. He resides in California and has a second property, obviously, to do his job in Washington. So somewhere along the lines, he's running this dual path of primary property.
Yeah.
And that needs to be rectified.
Yeah.
And the reason the cost is the second home is applying more risk to the lender, right? You're taking on more debt. There's higher risk. Therefore, that has a higher cost. So,
absolutely,
running two properties as primary is going to be cheaper, right? The lender 100%. That has each loan is assuming, there's just one property on the books here. We're limiting the risk here, correct?
Yeah. It's really just that. The thing mortgage fraud's a real thing, right? The end of the day, there are penalties that can come with this up to jail time, right? Like serious mortgage fraud. And it's been, it gets done every day, right? Like, unfortunately, there's bad actors. By no means are we suggesting Adam Schiff committed mortgage fraud, but he's going to have to rectify his situation because he can't be running two parallel paths with a primary home. My guess is what happens is if they indeed have two primary properties, he's going to be giving a period to cure the issue, or the note's going to get called, one or the two. One is he could sell the property. Two is he could refinance one of the properties as a second home or an investment property, however he wants to work that out. But that's most likely going to be the cure. I don't see this as we're not going to see Adam Schiff hauled off in handcuffs for crying out loud. Like it's, but I'm also not downplaying the fact that if there was fraud committed, like that's not a good thing, especially coming from a congressman. So.
Yeah, you don't want that. And I think, it's our responsibility as loan officers to ensure when we're going through application review and document review and when we run credit and gather all your liabilities, that we're making it pretty clear what's going on.
Absolutely.
And so you don't want to play in these waters. It gets very expensive. I was just thinking about, like, I've had customers call me and ask if they could do it. Like flat out just ask, can I commit mortgage fraud? And they didn't state it like that, but like, hey, I want to buy this place, in Tahoe, but I want to run it as a primary.
Yeah. The question is definitely leading to fraud. They just, people just don't think it's an issue. Like that's the kind of a scary thing. This whole deal. They think it's no big deal. Oh, I'm just going to call it my primary. Well, there's regulations and laws in place that say that's a bad idea. So.
Be upfront, be honest with your loan officer. It 100%. Will get caught. It does come with fines. Since 2008, this stuff is way more visible. There's a lot more oversight on the entire industry. You're not going to get away with it. You're not going to slip past this one.
Yep, I get it. Stay
awesome. So, in other words, be honest, be upfront, fill out your application honestly, report everything that's going on. We'll help you through all the steps we can to ensure you're set up correctly and down
That's
the right
right.
path with low risk. So that's the latest and greatest on the news front. We will be back with more updates as this moves along. If there is an update, we will come back and check in with you. But thanks for doing this, Gary. Thanks for clearing it up. Don't commit mortgage fraud is the end result, and we will be back with you shortly.
See ya.